Cool. Looks like we are good to go. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Narik Chase channel. I'm your boy Narik Chase, and I have with me Miss Madam B.
Hello.
And we are joining with coming together again for another great Break of the Base episode. I don't want to say we recently, but we went back. We saw the first It Chapter 1. We saw It Chapter 2 in the theaters. We went back and watched it, the television, the miniseries, and I've been off and on reading the It book, but it's pretty thick, so I haven't really gotten far. What, 40 pages?
20.
40 pages? 20. But that?
I don't know. Last time I checked, you said you on page 10.
I don't know about that. But anyways, all right. So guys, let's go ahead and get into this discussion now. If you haven't been part of the channel, you've seen my thoughts on the miniseries, the It Chapter 1, the It Chapter 2. Things I did like, didn't like with the individual reviews. If you haven't seen them, I'm going to go ahead and put some like annotations and stuff around here so you can click on it. Be more convenient for you to go ahead and go check those bad boys out. But this is a conversation we've been wanting to have for a little piece, and we still should do the Pennywise versus Killjoy. We do need to go do that, huh? Yeah, that'll be a really interesting one. But yes, for those who don't know what it is, no pun intended. Uh, it is based is a film series that was written, that was actually adaptation
What
of a
is
book.
based on
Huh?
a book?
I'm messing up.
No,
Okay,
you was like, it is based. I'm like, what is based?
I don't know. I'm messing up. It's been a while. So check this out. It is a novel written by Stephen King that came out in
What is a novel?
1986. Anyways, laugh at me because I'm misspeaking. But the book is about these 7 kids that end up being terrorized by this otherworldly creature that takes the form of a clown named Pennywise, and he just fucks with these kids because he eats kids. That's his shtick. He eats kids. So of course we had the miniseries that came out in 1990 with Tim Curry as Pennywise, and then we had the 2017 It Chapter 1 with, is it Alexander Skarsgård or Bill Skarsgård? Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise, and he returned for the role this year, 2019, for It Chapter 2. So, first, before we get into this, go ahead. What are your overall impressions of the character Pennywise?
Okay. Well, can I like rank them as two? Because it's kind of hard to do. Like, you have Tim Curry, and then you have
I mean, like the
Bill.
character.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of hard to, because I see like the Tim Curry character Pennywise as kind of goofy, but he'll still eat you.
Yeah.
But the Bill, he scared me, put a little fear in me. So, but they're both, and, what I'm saying, right? Kinda.
Kinda. Uh, now, for those, for me, I think Pennywise was not really like a favorite of mine. Like back in the day, growing up with like Freddy Krueger or Jason or something
Well,
like
no,
that.
he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't popular.
Yeah. So, but I have to admit that these recent movies have easily just thrown him up there in the rankings for me personally.
All right.
I think as a character, he's a pretty interesting character, pretty original character. Stephen King has done a plethora of really cool, interesting characters, and Pennywise definitely is one of those. And what makes him so cool is clowns all over the world are kind of seen as supposed to be funny and stuff and comical and humorous, but a lot of people are scared of them and they're threatened by them. Me personally, we had a kid and the clown scared the kid. I'm a da 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 da.
Okay, but would you say that character of Pennywise is original, or the
Like the concept to me. I mean, the closest thing I could give to is him probably be between again, somewhere between Jeepers Creepers and Killjoy.
I mean, Killjoy did. He was just. Well, you know my thoughts on
Yeah, yeah.
him.
We got to go back and talk about that series. Unfortunately, we still ain't seen the like finish. I couldn't finish watching the last damn movie. But anyways, so going back to what we were saying about Pennywise, I think it's an interesting character, and especially with all the attention that he's gotten over the with the reboots and stuff, I think he's just blown up in a lot of people's eyes. Now, I don't like. Yes, I do. I do like this. And eventually, I wanted to get into a deeper conversation about this. But who do you think did it better, Tim Curry or Bill Skarsgård?
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I said before. It's kind of hard to place it because I mean it's been a while since I seen like the first It miniseries. I had to go back and watch it, and no, I mean I wasn't scared. It was actually like it was an enjoyable watch. But I can't watch It Chapter 1 and 2 by myself.
Ah, okay, okay.
So I mean
This is how I see.
I have to give it to Bill.
This is how I see Tim Curry and Bill Skarsgård with their performances.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Curry would be the Stephen King equivalent of Jack Nicholson's Joker in the first Batman movie,
Mm-hmm.
and Bill Skarsgård would be the equivalent of the Joker from the Dark Knight trilogy.
Okay.
Because he's, like I said, if you go back, think about it. Jack Nicholson's Joker was pretty menacing at times, but he was mostly comedic, fun, and stuff like that. Um, but when you go back and you look at Heath Ledger's Joker, straight serious. I mean, yes, he had his moments, but he was like the shit's going down. But if you go back and if you look at the portrayals of Pennywise, same thing. Tim Curry's menacing at moments, but he's mostly goofy.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you look at Bill Skarsgård's incarnation of the character, he's pretty serious and more frightening.
So you gotta pick one though.
And like you said, and to make another example, looking back at Robert Englund's portrayal of Freddy Krueger and Jackie Earl Haley's portrayal,
Mm-hmm.
When Robert Englund first came onto the scene as Krueger, he was kind of menacing. But later on, as the movies continue, he gets there's more jokes and stuff and one-liners. But we look at Jackie Earl Haley's straight serious. So, to be honest, I want to give it I did like Tim Curry's performance as the character, but it's Bill Skarsgård's performance that made him like cool,
like going back to his past, what he originally was. Bill did it better,
when you think about it, Tim didn't in miniseries they didn't go back into it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, they didn't.
But I'm just like overall, like scares, craziness, and another part of me feels like because the miniseries is, I don't want to say PG-13 or anything, but the newer ones are kind of R rating. You see a little bit more horrific stuff. Like the miniseries was like, I guess you could say, set for TV.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't. There's a lot of like horror-esque things that happen in the newer movies that probably couldn't be put into those movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like for instance, you get to see the little boy get his arm bit off,
mm-hmm.
or you saw the little girl get her head bit into.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that wouldn't probably been put in the miniseries because of how it was made and everything. So I honestly I give it to Bill. Bill did it. I did it in for me. I like Tim Curry's incarnation of the character and his performance of it, but at the same time, I like more grounded characters rather than cartoonish, and I felt like his character was cartoonish.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, the Bill Skarsgård version did a lot more like terrifying shit.
Very.
He did a lot more terrifying shit to me. So that's it with that one. But all right, if we're gonna rank the movies and the miniseries, and we'll break it up into 4 parts. You will have the miniseries part 1 when they were kids, the miniseries part 2 when they were adults, the It Chapter 1 when they're kids, and then It Chapter 2 they're adults. How would you rank those?
Mm. To be honest, all I'm thinking about is the newer ones when they were adults. That's all I'm thinking about. It's
Oh.
kind of hard for me to go back to the miniseries.
We just watched it like, well, that
Yeah,
was like 2 or
it's
3 months ago.
yeah, it's been a while. And then we just saw it chapter 2 when they were adults, so that's what I'm picturing. But I think you said how would I rank you?
Excuse me, I'm sorry. This how I rank them. It Chapter 1, It Chapter 2, It Part 1, and It Part 2. There were a lot of stuff that I liked about the first half of the miniseries, but there was also some issues with it I had as well. But it was definitely better than the second half. Now I know that people are saying the first movie is better than the second movie of the reboot, and a lot of it has to do with the lack of scares, the humor, the pacing, because it's 3 hours long. And on the set was one other issue, but those like the main 3. But and one thing that I can say is the scare factor. I didn't have a problem with because scares translate differently from the perspective of a child to an adult. Even though there are some movies with some scary moments in it, right, with adults. But I feel like the creepy factor worked more better with the kids because they were kids actually, rather than actual adults. So I can kind of understand the lack of horror and stuff because a lot of people say It Chapter 1 is better than It Chapter 2. Me personally, I think they're about on even ground.
Yeah.
Because both of them do great things. Both of them kind of have issues. Both of them do great things, but one does things a little bit better than the other. Such as, I would say I like It Chapter 2's storytelling a little bit more because it bounced back between the adults and kids and how what happened in the past reflected in the present. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't to me, it wasn't a problem with the 3 hours. I can deal with a 3 hour movie if it's a good story, and it gave us a lot of insight into the characters, a lot of insight, things that was happening in the background of the original movie. So I didn't have a problem with the 3 hours. But going back and saying we look back at the part 2 aspect of it from the miniseries, and a lot of the issues we had were we didn't really get to know the adults like that.
Oh, the chapter 2.
Part 2. Doing a part 2 of the miniseries.
Part 2 of the miniseries. Okay.
And a lot of people say that the stakes weren't big for chapter 2, which I think they were, but they were different. See, in It Chapter 1, the kids had to stop Pennywise because Pennywise eventually would hunt them down and kill them. In Chapter 2, they did it they stayed to fight for different reasons. One, to break this curse that they could potentially kill themselves. 2, to stop him from killing other people. Another part of it is them facing their fears. So it wasn't just like they were, like in the first one they had to stop him, and this one is like they had to stop him and they chose to stop him. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't have really issue with that one either. And like me and you said, that final climactic battle in both the movies were a fuck ton better than they were in the miniseries.
Yeah.
Because in the miniseries, when they that miniseries, we watched that like a month ago. Then I think about it.
Okay, but I still.
I don't know why it popped in my head like that. But yeah, because remember in the miniseries, the girl hit him with the silver, which they never really explained what the point of the silver was. Like, where they get the idea that the silver would hurt him?
Um,
No, I think it was belief. That's what it was. It was
yeah,
belief.
yeah, okay.
It was belief. They focused it with the silver, but it was belief. But uh, it was okay. Like, I don't care what no one says. Really, the climactic battle, it's all right, but it feels very like Disney-ish. Like, yeah, they got in the bad guy's tunnels and his hideout, and he managed to get one. There's the monster and everything, and then they just shoot something at him.
Right. I believe.
Yeah. Whereas in the reboot, of course, it's a bit more darker.
Mm.
He's shapeshifting. He's trying to literally kill him and stuff and everything. So
and like with a supernatural-ish stuff.
Yeah. And then, of course, don't care what no one says, because somebody said that they did not like the movie ending, the movie battle, and compared to the miniseries, they made it seem like the miniseries was better. That battle with the spider was better.
Right.
No, I'm not gonna lie. The movie kind of threw me for a loop because it showed him as this giant spider, but it was him as a giant spider and not just a giant spider. It kind of threw me off for a second, but then I was like, okay, I'm good with that. I don't care what no one says. That battle was a fuck ton better than the old one.
Right. Just squished in here.
They're talking about that too, and I was like,
this looked so cute. I just want to. This is melting.
How did you think about which one's better? That happening or them them 5 people or 4 people or what it was pushing this damn big ass spider over until they get his heart out.
Well, I did like the melting part.
Yeah, because it shows the power of belief.
Mm-hmm.
And you sit here and you take that power away or whatever. So I don't care what no one says. I did like that. That one is shit ton better. Nobody better tell me.
But in both the movies, it didn't deter from the belief part because they still had to believe in order to beat them.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just a little bit more believable in the reboot than I believe. Yes.
Yeah, what was it? In the old one, she shot him in the stomach. The deadlights shot him in the stomach, and then it like, ugh. And then it like crawled away, and I was like, "Well, this shit's so damn powerful. How did this little bitty marble hurt you that bad?" And the belief thing was not that. I didn't believe that they didn't believe that motherfucker was wilding out because he was.
Mm.
But I mean, the films and when I say I'm gonna say them all, the series itself as a whole, I think it's actually really good. I think, and I think it's kind of cool because you can see it from. If you don't like scares like that, I could see myself like letting the kid watch the miniseries, and then when they get a little older, then pop in the. But then again, kids don't really get scared like that.
I wouldn't be in a room with y'all when you popped it in for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nope, Mama's gonna sit this one out.
Yeah, my mom was knocked that what's the name off too.
Oops.
That TV. Yeah. But what do you think they could have possibly done better with the overall series? I don't want to say. And I honestly, and I always say this. I would like to see this as like a not a miniseries, like a television series, 13-episode series.
So what would they add more? I mean, they pretty much went back into their childhood. Would you like to see more of them as adults? What they like as after they left? What happened to them? Would you? Is that what you want to see?
Like overall, everything. Even though he's doing his thing, everything. The actual story for us starts when he kills the little boy, Bill's brother.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see how his family deals with it. You know what I'm saying? How the investigation happened. How is he dealing with it at school? How are these other kids dealing with it in school? Because both of them, you get a sense of how it is for them, but you don't really get a full on like scope of like how the teachers, and then also I think the series would do a better job of establishing how to. You see, the adults don't seem to care
Right.
about like, and it's not about anything that the kids do. It seems like anything happening to kids. It seems
Right.
like
It's
the
like,
movie.
what they can see, what, they can't see what the kids see, and it's like,
Yeah,
it's like zoned out, basically.
kind of like I want to see how. I would like to see Pennywise still, and also the movies and the miniseries don't do this enough to me. Is he's not? I don't see him killing and messing with other kids enough. Like, what if there was like right before the little boy died,
Mm-hmm.
another kid told Bill that he had a clown for a friend. Then next day the kid's gone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
See how it's not just affecting him. You actually see it on the other people dealing. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for the dead bodies of the kids that you see in the movies and the miniseries or whatever,
Right.
if it wasn't for you actually seeing him kill them kids in the new movie,
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't tell that he killed kids. All you would think of is he was messing with those kids.
Right. Just those kids.
But it's good to have those scenes because what happens? In fact, what happened at the beginning of the miniseries? He attacked a little girl.
Right.
So it's like we need scenes like that, moments like that to kind of remind us, like, okay, he isn't just messing with them. The whole town's dealing with it.
Mm-hmm.
So some stuff like that. And honestly, I love them. I'm sorry, this might sound like I'm a dick or something, but I love them little kids. The scenes he was killing little kids. I'm sorry. That just showed him, cause you like his personality. In both versions, you like his personality. But when he does stuff like that, you're like, this dude is an asshole.
Right, because don't mean if you want to see somebody on screen just basically just doing away with kids.
Yeah.
Like they don't want to see that, but I think this movie nailed that. Really did.
And like I said, that's what I like about the series. It's like I said, he's a cool character. You like his character because serious, but he's goofy. See the stupid stuff that he does. But then he just wipes this kid out in the most brutal fashion, and you're like, damn, this dude's an asshole. It's like going back and watching Star Wars and watching Anakin, and then there's one sequence where Anakin, his mom gets killed, I guess, by these guys that kidnapped her. So what does the son do? The Anakin character do? He wipes out the entire camp. Now, what's messed up is you don't see it, but you see he does it, and you're like, you kind of feel for him, kind of like his character. You know, that's a bad example because Attack of the Clones wasn't the best movie. It wasn't the best movie. I'm sorry. Let me stop. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like another villain that just did something so despicable, but you're like, this dude is badass. Oh, I got a better one. Bellatrix Lestrange when she killed Dobie. She's a nice character. She's crazy. You know, this chick is crazy, and she killed this elf, this house elf, and you're like, really? That house elf was awesome. I wish I had a house elf like him. So, yeah. Of all the characters, um, in fact, if you can remember, of all the characters from the miniseries and the movies, pick one of each as your favorite. Me personally, from the miniseries, I like the guy that the Three's Company guy.
Okay, I know who you're talking
I
about.
can't. What was his name? I got this big ass computer right here, and I can't remember this fool's
You're gonna
name.
make me look it up on the tip of my tongue.
I know the guy. I don't know his name, but the character he played. Let me go ahead and look
Yes,
that up.
I know.
I can't believe I did not think about this nut
John
job.
Ritter.
I'm talking about his character name.
Um, the character. Hold up. Was it Joe?
Joe. Ooh, Annette O'Toole look like something fierce. Let's not do that no more.
Randy.
Randy? He was a fat kid. Yeah, he was the guy that was like he was a fat kid when he was younger. I can't remember this guy's name. Genre Ben. Ben, that's what it was. The fat kid. I actually liked him because I felt like he was a really grounded character. And going back towards the movie, the movie version.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I kind of want to say Ben too. I kind of want to say, but
yeah, being in the especially in chapter 2.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you know what part I'm talking about.
Hold on, which part?
The February Embers part. You know, the dirt part.
That part of the movie was my jam. Okay, hands down one of the best parts in this movie, and it's a hell of a lot better than that miniseries. Cause remember in the miniseries, she was like, "Weren't you the one who had wrote that poem?" He was like, "What are you? Are you?" Remember he started shaking. I was like, "Damn, dude, chill." He was like, "Are you Pennywise?" I was waiting for him to do that. And then they fell in love because for those who don't know, Ben actually liked the girl Beverly. Beverly. He actually liked her as a kid and he liked her as an adult. But in a reboot, don't care. That scene was my shit. They did it a hell of a lot better. I'm spoiling it. There's one scene. They all get separated in this big climactic battle, and they're all getting taunted by him in different ways. And Beverly is in a bathroom. A bathroom. I said bathroom. In a bathroom, and yeah, in a restroom stall, because when she was a kid, that's where she kind of hid away from the world and stuff. So she's in this stall, and Pennywise is fucking with her, and then Ben is in this little bunker thing that he built as a kid, and the bunker starts caving in on him, and it starts filling in with dirt, and then in the bathroom stall. Blood just starts rising, and they're both trying to survive, trying to get out of it. And while she's screaming and hollering stuff, this my shit. I was in the movie like, damn. So next thing you know, I think he heard her scream, but he started calling out to her. And what he did was he started reciting the poem that he wrote for her while he was like being buried alive, and she was like hearing it, and it gave her the strength to break open the door and kick the door open with the blood and shit, and she saved him. But I was like, damn man, that's some powerful ass shit. I was like, I wanted to cry. Shit, my eyes tearing up right now.
Oh my god, you just cried. Really?
That was, I'm telling you, that was my scene.
But I'm not gonna tear up.
That was my scene. Baby, when I say that was my shit,
okay.
No, that was my shit. That was my scene. That was like some Raiders of the Lost Ark type romance type stuff. Like if there was ever, if we don't see no romantic movie this year, yeah, I'm messing up.
This movie.
If we don't see no romantic movie this year, that gonna be my scene. You be like, you want to go see trickling down the waterfalls in the canoe with no paddle? I'm like, nah. That It Chapter 2. That's my scene.
That's not romantic.
But anyways, that was my damn scene. But so, do you see these films? Like, how do you see these films in the terms of horror?
Well, as you know, I don't watch a lot of horror because of, that. But I was surprised that It Chapter 1 and 2. It gave me quite a scare. It belongs in the horror genre.
All right. What was your scariest moment for the first movie, and what was your scariest moment for the second movie?
You really gonna make me go do that?
Okay, not the second one, because I already know what it is. I'm gonna tell them, but you.
You talking about the first movie? I don't remember like a scary. I think, did I sit all the way through it?
Yeah.
But I don't remember a scary moment in it chapter 1 that had me like that.
I think the one that got me that was kind of scariest to me, and it
Mm.
wasn't even really like scary, but it was creepy. Was a part where the black boy looked inside that slaughterhouse.
Oh, I know it now. I did do something. I
What?
just thought of it.
What?
Oh, you gonna make me go through that again?
Yeah.
Okay. When the boy was down in the library.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
This what the scene was.
Stop, please.
Ben was in the library.
Oh my God.
And he was reading about these kids that got burned up during this Easter accident, or what the hell it was. So all you hear is footsteps, and you look up, and he looks over to the staircase,
Oh.
sees somebody walking down the stairs. They shit fucked up. They all burnt to shit, and then it stops about halfway. So you see half the person's body, but the other half is hidden over the door seal. And then she jumped when he made that second step, and there was nothing attached to the top of him.
It started moving so damn fast.
Yeah, okay. That was creepy. My favorite one was, and this, like I said, it wasn't even like it was scary. It was just creepy. The part where the black kid looked at the slaughterhouse because the door came open, and then you see Pennywise like in the shadows, kind of like turn around, and his eyes was glowing. And he was like, I don't know why that shit kind of creeped me out.
Okay, well, I think this was in the first movie too, when I forgot his name, and he was thinking about the woman with no face or a messed up face, the painting.
That painting shit was creepy.
Yes. God, you making me go through this again.
That painting shit was fucked up. I was like, damn.
But yeah, and you know my part. Yeah, I think there were actually, now that I remember, there are more scary parts than I remember in chapter 1 than in 2. Because in 2, I only jumped once.
Yeah, you did it loud. She was up in a movie theater and it happened.
I did not do that.
Biting my arm and shit. One of my favorite sequences from the miniseries, and I told you the bathroom scene.
Yeah.
And he comes up out of the floor, and he was like, "What did he say to that boy?" He kept calling him "girly boy."
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "Girly boy." I was like, "What?"
Oh, the miniseries.
Yeah, that scene is my shit.
That claymation.
Yeah, that claymation something fierce in that movie. They did it good. They went all out with that. Also, I think another one of my favorite parts in this miniseries, of course, is the part where they're looking in the book. And they're all looking at the photo album book or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see the picture start moving. And then you see him like walking and doing flips and shit. And then
when they had the screen up.
No, not that one. Oh no, that was a creepy scene. That was a creepy ass scene too. I was more creeped out when he first appeared than when he started chasing him.
Mm-hmm.
Cause he was like click, click, click. that part got me. But in the miniseries, there's one sequence where they're talking about him. They look into this book, and the picture starts moving. It's a bunch of like circus people.
Oh, they were all sitting down and okay.
Yeah, and then he starts doing flips. Then he comes up in the pole and he's like looking at the kids, and he's like, "I drive you mad and I kill you" and all that stuff. And then he reaches through the picture and almost grabs them. Then they close the book and everything. I thought that was pretty cool too. I did not like the bully boy in the original. He kept saying he'll kill him.
Right.
But I was like, what is wrong with this boy?
What's his name?
I can't.
Henry Bowers.
I could not stand like in a new one. You get a sense of why he is the way he is. That's another reason I would like to. Yeah, and that's like I would like to see like a television series, kind of explore that a little bit about him.
Because in the miniseries, you just got him being a bully.
There's a straight up bully for you don't know why. He's just a straight up asshole.
Mm-hmm. Cutting people and shit.
Yeah, and just I'll kill you. But I'm like, you keep fucking with him. Why don't you leave him alone? But yeah, That's kind of where I am with that.
Mhm.
And of course, one of my favorite. I already said my favorite sequence of chapter two, and that part was my shit. That part was my shit. But I'm trying to think of what was another really. Oh, my other favorite part from the first movie. You know what part I'm talking about? The refrigerator part.
Oh, okay. Well, he like.
He was making fun of the boy. Uh, what's the boy's name again? It ain't. Was it Stanley?
One who had the asthma.
Or was it Richie? No, no, no. It might have been Stanley. I no, no, no. Stanley was the one I think that killed himself. I think Mike was the one that. No, I'm fucking up. It was Eddie.
Eddie.
It was Eddie. Yeah. So they are in chapter one. They go into the house. They all get separated. So Eddie ends up with a broken arm. Remember Deck of Shadow? Shout out to Deck of Shadow. He said about that boy broken arm.
Mhm.
He's like, his arm is broken. It's longer than it's supposed to be. That was funny. Shout out to that dude. Go check out his channel if you haven't seen it. He's pretty funny. But anyways, I bet you somebody like types in unlike you. But anyways,
That's wrong.
they were like at the 36 minute mark at the 30 seconds he said it's funny. He says and not you. But anyways, so Eddie's injured. The refrigerator opens up. Pennywise is stuffed in this fucker for some crazy reason, and he does this really cool. I don't know what the fuck he did. Contortionist thing came out, and while Eddie's backing up from, I guess he's hyperventilating, or is he just simply just making fun of him?
Who, Pennywise or
Yeah.
Eddie? Wasn't Eddie having an asthma attack?
I think he was having an asthma attack while he was backing up. So
Mhm.
Pennywise is just fucking with him, making like that part was my shit too. But what else happened? The scary moment for it chapter two was she got scared.
Okay, haven't we been through enough of these
No,
moments?
no. So check this out. The moment comes when Pennywise is talking to Mr. Bowers in an insane asylum, right? So he's following this weird ass balloon that's flying everywhere. Finds the balloon under his bed, and when the balloon pops, the zombie kid from the teenager guy that Pennywise killed in the previous movie, is him. Except he's all fucked up and zombified. And I thought she was gonna jump when it showed him, but she didn't. I was like, well, okay. Then this fucker started.
That messed me up, man.
So that was pretty funny. Oh, that part with that grandma, that shit was hilarious.
It was
too.
funny. You thought I was gonna get scared of them. Well, no, it's funny too.
This chick is sitting here chilling in the bathroom looking at some stuff that belonged to her from back in the day or whatever. I see you eyeing that though.
Hell yeah!
So
I told you.
she's eyeing this shit that she found in the bathroom, and then you see Grandma down the hallway, and you can tell something's always wrong with this bitch. She's like, either something's wrong with her or it's Pennywise. You see this chick standing down the hallway, she just does this. And walks off. I'm like, what the fuck?
It was funny.
And then, of course, the part where she's like, she like walks across the screen. She's like, all naked and stuff. I'm like, yo, old ass, baggy ass lady. Now, I did get creeped out that the fucking, when she mutated and started chasing. That shit did creep me out. I was like, what the fuck is that? So, yeah. And also, I did like, kind of like the filler that we did see. Not the filler. Kind of the backstory of shit that happened in the movie, that happened in the first movie that we didn't know about. Like, what the stuff that they forgot. Okay.
Like,
remember
from like the beginning, or
I think Richie and Bill had a argument, and they both went their separate ways.
Mm-hmm.
So Richie went to the arcade, started playing games with this kid,
Okay.
and then they started accusing him of being gay. But we don't know that happened in the first movie.
Okay.
So, I enjoyed those moments. And it kind of did a good job to me going back to the scary factor because it showed them as kids.
Mm-hmm.
But and let me ask you this. And I think maybe the first, the miniseries and the second movie kind of maybe suffered a little bit from this. Do you? Because a lot of times when you saw Pennywise in the first movie, it was glimpses, not really like a whole bunch of him. But in the second movie, you got a whole bunch of them. Even in the miniseries, you got a whole bunch of them. Do you think that the movie and the miniseries, the second movie and the miniseries, would have benefited better had they kept him kind of in the shadows a little bit more?
I mean, you you do see a whole lot more of them, but I think they did it just right. I mean, kind of like was it the second one when the little girl went down to the bleachers? Yeah, I mean, you saw him in the shadows. I mean, did he? I forgot. Did he just come out?
Yeah, he caught the little butterfly thing. He was like, "Hello."
Yeah, but you didn't see the whole him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they did good, and by keeping him hidden and then just showing them.
And this is one of the things I kind of understand what they were saying because the one scene where Richie was sitting in the park, and Pennywise is sitting on top of that statue, like that scene, and you got Pennywise fucking with him, but it doesn't feel like as intense as it probably would have, like say at nighttime. Because when he did, it was daytime.
Right, or if he was by himself.
I mean, he was.
Like in the park.
Yeah, I mean, the people were around him. It was weird. It was like, okay, I can't tell if he was by himself or not because the people behind him like started like moving in unison.
Mm-hmm.
They all like stopped at the same time and everything. So I don't know if he did that to the people that was actually there, or if they weren't there, he was just fucking with them. So I could kind of understand some of that stuff, but to me, it's like Predator and Predator 2. Okay, in the first Predator movie, and you see glimpses of them. By the end of the movie, you see them. The second movie, you see a lot more of them. But at the same time, it's like, well, you can't pull those same thrills and stuff and suspenseful stuff like you did in the first film because we already know what we're looking for.
Right.
So you can't do that same thing in the sequel. Kind of like Jeepers Creepers. Jeepers Creepers, glimpses of them, and then by the second movie, you already know what you're looking for.
And by the third movie, he walking around in the daytime drinking coffee and
fat.
So.
So, but overall, what have you really thought of the series? Because I've actually really enjoyed both. Like I said, I think all of them have issues here and there.
Right. They're good in their own ways. I enjoyed them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I said, I think the miniseries as a whole, to me, like if there's a rating, I don't want to say either one is better because I would say the miniseries as a whole, 1 and 2, meets both chapter 1 and chapter 2 because I don't think chapter 1 and chapter 2 are better than the other one. I think they're all level. It's just that certain things are done a bit better in chapter 2 than chapter 1, and certain things in chapter 1 were done better in chapter 2.
Okay, so do you? Oh, sorry. Do you think they would have? They would have in both movies. Do you think they did enough of like as kids, having to experience Pennywise by themselves, and as adults experiencing by themselves, and in the reboot, do you think they did enough of that, or they didn't do it enough?
Honestly, I don't think they did enough to me.
When they're off by themselves to,
That's why, again, I say it should be like a television series where you see him fucking with them more. kind of like why I said I wanted to see a Nightmare on Elm Street as a television series, because by the first movie, she's killing these people off. But
Right,
you don't know who
they already been dreaming about them.
yeah,
And stuff like
but
that.
we
like,
don't see that.
Right, like how did they hear of them to be
Yeah,
dreaming about?
like I would like to see Freddy Krueger messing with them for like a couple of weeks, then step in, kind of like you see Pennywise. You want to see Pennywise be like Santa Claus, drop in, mess with you, leave, fuck with somebody else, fuck with somebody else, fuck with somebody else, come back to you. Right. You want to see him mess with them for a while, like you want to hear kids in school saying, "Have you heard of the clown?" or some shit like that.
Okay.
Oh, and also the sequence for the first part of chapter 2, where they beat those 2 gay guys up, and then Pennywise killed that one guy in the river.
Yeah,
that was my shit too. And it's stupid because I'm like, I didn't give 2 shits about the 3 dudes beating these 2 gay guys up, but when Pennywise showed up and took a chunk out that one motherfucker, I was like,
okay, I know I told you this like when the chapter 2 ended about not seeing enough of Mike in the second one.
Yeah, you're right. I would have liked to see more about more on Mike too. What like things he been doing the entire time, like right. You know what I'm saying?
You know, because in the movie they came to him like to get a little information, and then they left, and then you didn't see him again. So I'm like, okay, so what is he dealing with? He stayed, you know, here all these years. Like, what is he dealing with? They showed kinda what he dealt with, you know, going there and getting enlightenment or whatever he got.
And another thing that kind of got me about the second movie, like Pennywise never came to Mike. Mike remembered when shit started going happening again. You would think he would have targeted Mike. Now I can understand Mike he used the situation to bring them all back there so he could kill them. And I'm like, well, did he do that on purpose, or was that just something he thought would probably happen? But I guess he had to have thought that would happen because he didn't go after Mike. Because I would think if everybody, all these people left, and the only one I could get to, I would probably get to him. But I guess you could figure, well, he knew Mike would call them back, or he used Mike to call them back.
Actually let Mike live all these years to call him back?
Not let him live all these years. Because remember, he was in hibernation. But when he started back up, he like, who the first person on this agenda? Oh, Mike? Mike still here? Okay. I know who I'm getting first. So, like that. I was kind of on the fence about that. Now, and the one thing I didn't like about Chapter 2 was the whole dream sequence with the Apaches, Indians, and all of that stuff. That I was like, I can understand it, but I wish it was done better, done differently. That's my only issue with that was I wish it was done a little bit differently. But okay, like I said, just overall, I think it's a really good series. I don't think it's just for people that like Stephen King. I actually think it's for people that enjoy good horror. And like I said, they all, to me, a level playing field that just they do certain things better than others. Now, honestly, I will say this, the miniseries, the adults, they're not as memorable as the kids. But in the reboot, of course, the kids were fantastic. And in Chapter 2, the adults were fantastic. One of the best well-casted movies I've ever seen. It honestly, the ensemble was something fierce. So I really enjoy that that aspect of it. Any final thoughts for the It series? No, I think I got a spider in the light.
No, not really. No.
We'll look at it like, is that a spider? You gotta look at it from this side. I'm about to cut that light on and barbecue his ass. Don't do that. You sit here knocking this shit over now. I'm like, there's a spider in the light bulb, and she's twisting it, but it's like falling towards me and it's doing this. I'm like, no. But did this son of a bitch move? Okay, nah, it's good. It's good. Okay, sorry about that, people. We have technical difficulties. But no, I'm just. But in all, I think there was a really good series. Me personally, I'm kind of interested to see if they could pull a part 3. I kind of am, to see if they'll follow a different kid or picks up again 20 something years later. Because in the Stephen King universe, there's evidence that he returns, even though he's supposed to be destroyed. Mm-hmm. There's evidence. Now, we don't know if it's exactly him. At least I don't, because I don't follow him like that. But I don't know if it's actually him doing it or another creature of his race doing it. Because in the Stephen King verse, there's at least 3 of them that made their appearances.
If not, can you think they can leave it alone? If not, there's another. Do you think it would be good with that ending of chapter 2?
I would say okay, yeah, fine. I would have liked to see a little bit more about what happened afterwards, how they live their life and stuff. But if they would go with a series, I would not have no problems with that.
Okay.
Like a television series, I wouldn't have a problem with that. But all right then, guys, that's it for our discussion for the television and film series. You can leave that spider alone or wherever it is.
Spider.
It is? It ain't?
I said no.
Oh. But anyways, guys, the thing is freaking me out. And you behind it, you just roll. But anyways, guys, let us know in the comment section below, what did you think about not only the miniseries, but It Chapter 1 and It Chapter 2? Which one was your favorite? What are your favorite moments? Who are your favorite characters? Who are your favorite actors? And
horror scenes.
And horror scenes. What are your favorite scenes? And what are your favorite horror scenes? Scariest stuff. And be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the best of what the hell we got popping on this channel. And we'll definitely catch you guys later.